What's up, everybody? Welcome
Hi.
back.
Hey.
We're back to, what is this? 75 Hard podcast, I guess.
Yep.
And good luck to me, I guess, because I don't know.
What day are we even on? 40.
I don't know.
We have 20. I have 29 days left. Now I'm counting how many days I have
Oh,
left.
yeah? Oh, there you go. I don't even
Got
know
29
anymore.
days left.
Yeah.
I was doing so
What,
good.
47, 46?
Day 47 for me. Yeah.
So 46
That's right.
for me. And you.
Yeah,
Nice.
I don't know what I have.
Well, you're 46.
You're
too.
46.
46.
yeah.
Except yesterday, forgot to take my picture.
Uh-oh.
Did you film yourself, though?
No.
No?
Oh, no.
But I walked past Declan's GoPro. So I might.
To get technical.
Declan's been filming a lot on his little, like, what is it, a 3, GoPro 3,
Yeah,
and they're on like
GoPro
12 or
3.
something now.
That's funny.
So
But he's obsessed with it. He's like filming everything, so who knows what he's catching.
yeah.
So you were on video somewhere.
So I might be on day 1
Maybe.
or
You like-
day 43 or whatever.
You're like Sasquatch just like walking by.
Yeah, I think I walked by. I'm gonna go get I forgot about that till just now. I'm gonna go get I'm gonna have to go get the memory card and make sure I get that. See,
How are you you gotta figure out how to do it to where you don't forget.
I don't know.
Do you keep track of it, like a checklist? Like,
Yeah.
do you look at it every...
Yeah, but it's like
Period of
so.
time?
Like I'll start going through it through the day, and I should just take my picture in the morning like you guys do, but I don't. I just start going through it, and I do my workouts, and then towards the middle of the day somewhere, I look at it usually, and I'm like, all right, I haven't had any candy, so I usually check that one off, and then I read at night right before I go to bed, and I just forget to take a picture. So.
Yeah, I mean, well, mine reminds me. Mine
Yeah.
pops up and tells me because I set up reminders. So I just do it every morning as I just like roll out of bed, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Well,
It's the
I
first
try
thing I
to
do.
knock mine out as soon as possible. As far as right when I wake up, I take a picture,
Can you set a reminder for
do my
yourself?
reading.
Yeah.
You should.
I think I'm just gonna start doing it in the morning. Like the first thing I do, like I'll just put it in my
Put your
morning
contacts in and
routine.
do it
Yeah.
right then
Yep.
in the mirror or whatever.
Yeah.
Is that how you do it? You just do it in the mirror?
Yeah. Yep. So I should just I brush my teeth, I put my contacts in, and I guess now I need to take a picture.
I was showing my friend Morgan at work some pictures of the boys, and I'm just like scrolling, and then I'm like, whoops, sorry. Because I just had my bra and panties on. I was like,
Yeah.
sorry. It's for the 75 hard. Well, now you've seen it. She's
See,
like, oh, it's okay.
Mine are, I hide them. Like, you can hide it on
Oh,
your
really?
phone.
I don't know if I
So-
can.
Yeah, you can.
I
I'll
have
show
them
you
in a
how.
separate one, but I don't know how to
No, you
take them
can
out of
actually-
my
you
main
can
roll.
hide 'em.
So if you select, I have an iPhone, so I don't know, but if
Yeah,
you
that's what I
have.
select, okay, then yeah, if you select whatever picture and click on it, it gives you the option to hide. And then there's a hidden folder,
Oh.
and it's like Face ID to unlock the hidden folder.
Oh.
Yeah.
But that's where I keep all my progress pictures, so that if I'm showing someone pictures, they're
I
not
should do
seeing
that.
my progress
Yeah,
pictures.
I realized I'm like, I can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
I just do it on like Instagram or something. I'll just get on there and show people pictures if I need to.
That's what I do. I just
Yeah.
go to Instagram.
Dangerous.
Dangerous.
Luckily, she's my friend, so I'm like, I don't feel too weird about it.
Yeah,
It's all right.
it's funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
Could have been worse.
So we've been. Yeah.
True.
So we've been gone. We didn't do one last week because you guys went camping, right? So
Yes.
how was camping?
It's good.
It was
Yeah.
fun.
It was so fun.
Yes.
We got our
was,
exercises in
Yes.
and just walked around the campground.
Lots of wildlife while doing our exercises.
And I did do one of my progress pictures, even though it was just like in my t-shirt or whatever, but yeah. Yeah.
Well, I think you guys Tiffany took my progress picture for me that day
Oh, she did?
because I told her I do like a side.
Or you do a
side,
bunch of
front,
them.
and back. So I didn't lift up my shirt like I normally do. I take one and then I lift up my shirt so I can get,
Yeah.
yeah. But
Have you been seeing any like changes in your pictures? Have you noticed?
I haven't looked at them.
Oh, you haven't?
No, I take them and then I put them in my hidden folder
Oh.
and they're gone. And I plan to not look at them until the end, which now I also plan not to weigh myself until the end because I
Right.
haven't yet and I might as well just wait. But I have an app that I can like put two pictures together side by side. So I was
Cool.
planning on doing like a day 1, day 70 side by side comparison. And
Have you noticed have you felt any changes in your body? Like you have to notice, right?
I feel like I, again, just am not as bloated is all I feel. I don't have any like reference for clothes because I wear stretchy pants or shorts, and
Yeah.
so
But you don't like see anything
I feel
different?
like some of my pictures, it feels like my face a little less big.
I think so too. Yeah.
So that's the only thing I've noticed or looked at
Because
because
clothes aren't my only reference. Like I'm noticing like when I'm working out that I'm seeing changes, more muscle, more tone, more.
I'm feeling I definitely have a lot more endurance, and I noticed the change in that. Like just yesterday when I was going on the treadmill, I was just kept upping it, and I wasn't getting
It wasn't
I
as-
wasn't about to die.
Right.
And prior to starting, I like 10 minutes of just walking at 1.5 mile per hour. I was out of breath.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And I could only do 10 minutes on the treadmill before I was like, hey, I'm done. I don't want
Right.
to, you know?
Yeah.
And now I'm going like 30, 40 minutes, and I'm
You're still
just
good.
watching
That's
my
awesome.
show, not out of breath.
I love that. I love that about the
So I
MadFit,
am noticing.
the workouts that I do, because you can, like, if you are consistent, you can see those like differences. If you do the videos, some days it's hard, and some days like it just
Yeah.
becomes easier and easier and easier as you
Yeah.
go, because you're getting more.
I am able to hold plank longer, and I'm
Nice.
noticing that difference. And then my pull-up thing, I feel like I'm progressing. I still can't do a full pull-up yet, but
Oh, that's
more than last time we talked a couple weeks ago. So
Nice.
getting there.
I know when I pulled Milo up the side of that thing today, I was like, oh, this is really easy. I was surprised. Like I would think it'd be a lot heavier, but
Yeah.
because he was trying to get up like this embankment or whatever, because
Oh,
they were
yeah.
down in the little beach, and I was like, "Boom." And I
Yeah.
was like, oh, he's
Yeah.
up. All right.
Yes,
Funny.
so I have noticed that definitely
Nice.
change in endurance. And
Same with you?
Yeah.
You doing good on your
Yeah.
planks and stuff?
Yeah, I'm able to get, I think I was able to do like 10 seconds at first, and now I'm up to like 30,
Nice.
and then multiples of 30. So
Doing it multiple times. Yeah.
before I really get worn out.
Yeah.
I just don't go longer than 30. I just do 30, and then I go back to the other thing because I get bored.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's like the longest 30 seconds of your life, I feel like. I swear to God.
of planking.
I struggle with those.
Yeah.
I just
But
feel like I'm like shaking like crazy. I'm going to like wobble over.
Yeah.
I can't do sit-ups at
Oh,
all.
really?
Just can't do them. I don't know if maybe I'll be able to do them after, or like, I don't know, am I like too tall or something? I just can't figure it out. But
What do you mean? You're
I
too
don't-
tall.
I don't know. I just can't do it.
Really?
You're talking about like
Yeah, like
Like
sit-ups.
crunches or like
what
full
if someone was like
Crunches.
standing on like
If
do
somebody
you
was
use
on my
leverage?
feet, then maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, because like my whole self like folds
Maybe
in,
even
you know.
I remember back because it does help when there's weight on there, but
Yeah.
I remember like sticking my feet under the couch
Oh,
or
yeah, I've done
something
that.
to
Oh, there you
give
go.
myself some.
I should do
You
that.
just
Some
need
leverage.
more strength in your core, I guess, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In order to
I haven't
balance it
tried
out.
since I've been planking. Maybe it would.
Yeah, maybe.
work
Maybe
now.
now you can.
I don't know. Yeah. What about you? You feel more endurance?
Yeah, for sure. Yep. Especially like the cardio stuff that we've been doing. A lot of that. I feel like, except for today, but we were. This is what we were talking about earlier too. Is like because it's my period, and I've noticed this with the last time that it's just harder. Everything's just harder. You wake up and there's like I had no motivation yesterday or today. Just already exhausted, even just walking around.
Yeah.
You know, like not feeling good emotionally. It's just I don't know. It's hard.
I think we're kind of talking about that camping though, like the importance of making sure that you are and giving yourself that, you know what, I'm on my period and I need to do light. I need to be light and it's okay. And I'm still, I'm still doing, but don't feel like you're failing because you have to have
because you
more
can't
light.
go full on.
Yeah. Like respect your body and, like that's what you need.
Yeah, because it's
And
really
yes,
hard.
we can still push ourselves through that fatigue, but we don't have to do some crazy high
Yeah,
high cardio,
Yeah.
high endurance, whatever. Just
Yeah.
do yoga or walk or whatever.
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's-
on those days. I mean, and that's my struggle too, is that I feel like I want to push myself just because I feel like crap, but it's really hard.
Yeah.
It's really hard to overcome that like voice in your head.
You just don't want to burn yourself out.
I know.
And maybe if you keep that, you know, like, because I do the same. I push and then I will have a burnout. And so I try to keep that in my mind, like,
Yeah, and
avoid this burnout.
doing, I like with the consistency, like having to do it every single day. Like we were talking to Tara today, and you know, she's like, "Well, I'm pretty much doing all this," and we were too. Like I feel like I was pretty much doing, you know, my
Yeah.
workouts, and I was drinking a gallon. But you like this, you have to do it every single day, right?
Yeah.
Like you're
Well,
holding
and that's
yourself
why
to
she
every
said
single
she
day. It's
didn't.
different.
She's like, if you go through something or something comes
Right.
up, and that's where the challenge really
Right.
is, and that's what the challenge is.
Yeah, most days will be, you know, you'll be able to do it, but
persevering
yeah,
and-
other days something will come up, or you'll
Yeah.
have an off day or whatever, and you have to figure it out.
Yeah, and you can adapt to those while still achieving those goals.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that's what we've proved over and over. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what we were talking about today that we should talk about is, now I remember, is just that now that we have 29
left?
and 28 days left, your 29 days left, that's how I'm going to
Yeah.
count down.
Wow, 28.
But we were talking about how like where we thought we would be at this point. Now it is more of a habit. Like it's not something. It's just something we do. It's not.
Right.
There's not as much push either. Like there's
Yeah.
certain obstacles that'll come into play, like going on the road trip that Tiffany went on, or if you're sick or have a migraine or whatever, you're gonna have these obstacles. But as far as doing it, it's now starting to be just part of life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And that was
Yeah.
the goal. That was, you
Yeah,
know, that's the
that's
whole.
true.
So
Yeah, I mean, when it's over, it'll definitely be much easier to just do one workout a day.
Yeah.
To where it doesn't feel like it's such a priority and such an obligation that you like have to put everything else aside to do
Yeah.
2 workouts. I'm excited for that, honestly. But now I'm like starting to think like, but I want to walk every day.
Yeah.
And I want to, you know,
Well, and
make
what
sure I'm
I've-
doing my weightlifting. So am I still going to do 2 workouts every day? Maybe.
I think it's doable. I plan to. Like
Yeah.
I plan to still do the 2 workouts. But I am and I have been doing this as well, but one of them is usually walking or something on the lighter end and the other one's a little more getting my heart rate up and cardio. So just keeping one light and you know, then it's
Right.
just kind of and the light one is doable if you live an active life. Like if you're being a mom, you know, like
Yeah,
you have to
that's
do
true.
stuff. You have to do life. And
Oh yeah, I know. When we came home today, we were puddles and sweaty messes, and I like came home and just cleaned the whole house. I was like, I don't want to do this right
Yeah.
now, but I have to.
Yep. You know,
I mean, I don't have to, obviously. I know, but
I have been
It needed to be done.
finding myself feeling less lazy about
Yeah,
things. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like if I need something in the past, I'd be like, tell my kids to go grab it for me or something, you know?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I've been more like, you know what? I can go get it my damn self. You know? Been feeling a lot more energy in that sense, or
Oh, that's
less
good.
lazy, I guess, in that
Yeah.
sense too. Just
So we were talking today about doing 5Ks and races and stuff. And I hadn't really mentioned it to you, but I was kind of researching it, doing one because it's one of my goals. And it always has been actually. But like actually running one, would you be interested in doing something like that?
In running one?
Well, not necessarily. Like we have the suicide prevention one, and I think we'll probably just walk it. I'm guessing because
Yeah.
most people are going to walk it.
we'll probably.
I'm
plan
not
to just
trained enough
walk
to run it.
Yeah, there's a few people going every year. It's been a couple of years since I've gone, but there's a small handful of people that actually run it, and everybody
Oh, really?
else pretty much walks it.
Oh, okay.
Um,
I would need to train longer. I would need a
Yeah.
couple months, I think, to like work up to it because there is
Yeah.
like schedules you can follow to build up your endurance and stuff.
Yeah.
yeah.
Which eventually I would like to do. Like I even saw one that was like a Thanksgiving Day one, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that might be kind of fun, like to
I
do it
saw a
on
mom's one
for Thanksgiving or something.
It was a virtual one, but it was like you register and get a T-shirt, and can't remember what it said. But anyway, I was thinking about doing a virtual one with a couple of us, you
Oh,
know,
that'd be fun.
and we register and they send us the thing and the T-shirt, and then we plan a day and go do our own 5K
Oh, just wherever-
in honor of this virtual 5K.
Why?
Or whatever.
Oh, that's cool.
So there's so many different. There's lots
There's
of
a
virtual
ton.
ones, but
Yeah, there's always, it looks like multiples every month. There's
Oh, yeah.
all over the valley.
yeah,
So
I really want to do one too. So we should look
I want to
into it.
like run.
I mean, if we
One,
could
but-
walk one, I could probably do it. I don't know if I can run, though.
Yeah, I mean, but eventually, like, what if you decided to make it a goal to,
Well, that's
to run one?
I don't know.
Would you do one?
That's why I bike. I hate running.
Oh.
It's the worst.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And like, you know, maybe if I lost my fat, because like I don't
The
know.
jiggle?
Yeah, the jiggle is, and like it gets itchy. Like
Yeah.
I don't know if this is too much for people or what.
No,
but
I think most people can probably relate.
that itch is like the worst feeling in the world.
That's why we have sports bras, because
Yeah.
that becomes an issue.
Yes.
And I don't get that on the bike. Like I can push myself really hard on
Yeah,
a bike
that's
because
true.
I can change the gears and I don't have to actually like bounce. You know.
Yeah.
So maybe
Well, they
if I
have
got
like bike
skinny-
runs too. Like
If we could do a
Probably.
bike one, I would do a bike
something.
one.
That would be,
Yeah.
I don't know, but just thinking. I feel like that would be like scary though, being with a bunch of people on bikes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe.
Because I've gone on motorcycle runs before, and everybody's just together. Like, you know, if
Right.
one person goes down, we would all go down. You know,
Yeah.
it'd be yeah.
I'm thinking about
Anyway.
this. I saw this AI. Have you seen these AI things that people keep posting?
Yeah,
I'll
they're
have to
pretty
find one and
bad.
send it to you. And
They're
it's a
bad.
bike one, and it just looks so gross and weird, and like I don't have to show you. It's so bizarre. And that's all I keep thinking of. Sorry, it was a
Yeah.
bike one.
It's not good.
Like the AI is trying to understand people riding bikes and like in races and stuff, but it can't understand it. So it's like making all these like
Yeah, it's like rolling, and
yeah.
then like the people will have like extra limbs.
Yeah.
and, like not enough, and they're like if they crash, they like roll.
It can't
and
figure
all
out what's going
rolls.
on.
Well,
Yeah,
that's funny.
it's
weird.
anyways. Yeah,
Well, we should look into a 5K.
I think the reason I want to do running is because I hate running too. I mean, I guess I don't hate it as much as I used to, but I remember as a kid, like having to run in PE, and I failed PE one year and I got in big trouble because my dad's like, how can you freaking fail PE? But I was a fat girl and I didn't want to do it. And it took me like 20 minutes, but I finally finished the mile just walking it most of the time. And I don't know, ever since then, I just remember thinking like, man, that, like I don't want to be that girl. I want to someday like actually do this and do it, in a decent time and like actually place and all of that.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I would love to like run. That would be a good goal. It would take me a while to get
Yeah.
to that. Like, my body you have to have you have to be in shape to do that.
yeah,
You
and
know
that's
what
the
I mean?
only thing I remember is like my lungs hurt and I'm like coughing and I was itchy and I was like, I just hated it so much. But
Yeah.
I just thought something I hate that much and something that I like absolutely despise, I should probably do it. Figure
Yeah.
out how to do it right.
It's a good goal to have.
Even as a
though.
kid, I remember thinking that. Yeah. So anyway,
Maybe start with some 5K walks and then turn it into a jog and then,
Yeah.
just work your way up.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Well, cool. I really want to do one.
What about reading? Are you still reading the same book?
Still powering through. Yes, I'm working on the second David Goggins, but I'm almost done. What about you? You've read multiple books. Like,
I'm on book number 4.
holy cow.
They've been pretty easy. The one I'm reading now, it's called Getting Things Done, and it's just a productivity, how to be organized and stress-free, being organized, which is, I feel like I'm reading it to maybe help me be more organized, but less stressed about that fact. I don't know. Anyway, it's okay. It's a good book so far. But yeah. And then the books I read before that were super. I read The Compound Effect, which was very good. Very good book. I mean, it's like the whole trajectory thing. Like if you make these small changes, you're going to completely change your life. And then before that was How Full Is Your Bucket, which was a very quick read.
Are you reading more than 10 pages at a time?
No.
Oh, really?
Sometimes. I mean, sometimes I just do
You
read
forget
a
and
couple
you
more
just-
to end the chapter,
Oh,
or
yeah.
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I have to end at a good spot, I guess.
I just feel like mine's taking forever. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I had to go between 2 books because they kept expiring. But
Yeah, I'm still on the same book too.
Yeah.
But I think I'm on like, I don't know, like page 400 or something.
oh, geez,
that
that's a
right?
long
Jeez.
book.
Are you guys are reading like Kindle
Yeah.
form? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, on the Libby app, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder if your pages are just smaller.
Maybe.
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
No,
Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know. Mine's pretty big because I'm blind. So I guess. I don't know. I turned it
'Cause
up
you're
so it was
blind.
bigger so I could read it.
I don't know. I mean, it looks like a normal page. Let me pull it up. I think you're just reading more. Maybe Marquez is just reading a lot more. Or they're shorter books.
I
don't
'Cause
know.
We don't know how like
They could. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, they're only like
yeah. So I'm on
200
page
pages or less.
400
or around 200 pages.
and 47.
Oh, yours is a long
Okay,
one.
yeah, that's a long book.
It's
My
out
book
of 800.
is-
800.
844 pages.
Jeez.
Whoa. This is the Jordan Peterson book?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
and
well,
I
that's-
listened to that. I don't remember it being that long.
Well, when you listen to it, it's a lot shorter.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like
guess so.
10 hours or 20 hours or something, you know? It's like you can just bust through it. But
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know.
But yours are a lot.
So I did set myself a goal. I don't remember if it was a 5-year goal or a 1-year goal, but to read 100 self-help personal growth books in. I think it was a 5-year goal. I don't think they would have done
Wow. That's a lot.
a 5-year goal. So 2029. My goal is by July 2029
You
to read
keeping
100.
track then?
Yeah,
Of
yeah.
course you are.
And so you've got
Track.
I wouldn't. I would just be like, I don't know how many.
so you've got 4 now.
So I got 4 down this
That's good.
so
Wow.
far.
So you should be able to do.
That's crazy.
Well, and yeah, I figure if I could do a book a month, then that's kind of how I calculated it, which is more than 100. But yeah, a book a
Okay.
month is more than 100 in 5 years. But
To
that
read
gave
it with
me-
your eyes.
yes.
Oh.
Oh, I don't know.
Or to listen.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I haven't
right.
determined that yet. But I
'Cause
I
that's
just
the hardest
feel like
part.
that would expand my mind so much if I
Yeah.
could read that many, you know.
Yeah. No, you're right. I know that was always something I hated too, was reading. But yeah, it
Yeah. I
really
can't.
does
I
like
really haven't been enjoying my reading.
yeah.
It's more just
too.
the taking the time to do it
Yeah.
is what got to me for a
Right.
minute. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know some days I struggle with it. I'm like, oh man, I still have to do that.
Yeah.
And he's so like descriptive sometimes in like the nasty stuff that's going on with his body. I'm just like, I just don't feel like reading this right now. Ugh.
Do you feel like you are feeling a flow as far as like these are habits now and they're not as minus the taking the picture that you're struggling with, but everything else, does it feel like it's just going like a flow now? This is your life?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the reading is difficult sometimes, like because I need to stop doing it at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Because I fall asleep.
Because you're too tired. I know.
Because I get up at 3 in the morning. So by the time I'm reading it, it's after 9 p.m. So however many
Do you
hours
take a
that
lunch
is.
break?
No.
No?
I'm usually driving on my lunch break.
Okay.
I have to take a lunch break because I'm a CDL,
Yeah.
but I'm driving. So
I was gonna say, are you
I'm
gonna
usually-
incriminate yourself now?
no. I'm usually driving to my second job on my lunch break.
Okay.
That's how that works.
Oh.
So, I mean, yeah, it's like I don't know. I don't clock in at my second job, so I don't know how they would.
Maybe
figure that
after
out,
the
but-
75 days, you can just switch it to listening to audios while you're driving.
Yeah, yeah. And I was doing that before.
Yeah.
I've been
yeah.
doing that for like a year and a half now.
So do you plan to continue this process?
I don't know if I'll
afterwards?
continue reading because I don't take the information in. I mean, I don't know. It's like, and especially at night, it's like I'm falling asleep.
Like when you're reading it.
Yeah.
So if I do keep reading, what I'm going to do is I've noticed I'll get to like page 6 and I'm good until like page 6. And then from 6 to 10, I might as well not even read it because I'm not paying attention and I'm like legitimately falling asleep.
Yeah.
I have to wake up and reread stuff. And I think like maybe what I should do is go take some time after work
Yeah.
and just read. And then I won't have to do it at the end of the day. Because basically that's the one thing that I forget to do. And I'm like, oh crap, I still got to read.
Yeah.
Well, in the picture too,
Yeah.
apparently. But
Yeah.
yeah, so maybe I just need to change that habit, I think. But the workouts, I think I'm definitely going to keep doing because they're the workouts I'm doing, you know, like I said, if I don't do sit-ups, it's better. You know, if I don't run, it's better. It's like if I lift, it doesn't feel like I'm working out. So it feels like good, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So, and then the bike rides, I like riding
Yeah.
the bike.
Yeah.
So
I know, I've been missing it. We just missed
yeah, we didn't do it last weekend.
week, and I was like, oh,
We did.
I don't know why.
other
I just
things.
really wanted to go. I don't know. I want to go on a bike ride.
It's crazy to me to think like there's no going back to what was
Yeah.
prior to
Yeah.
this. That's
Not-
what I'm feeling right now.
right.
Like I'm feeling
Yeah.
like this is the next chapter of life, and there's no going back. Like,
Once
I'm not-
you, yeah,
I can't
no,
fall back to where I was. Like,
Right.
why would I do that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's how I felt. I went into a big depression I think, and that's why, because I had realized, like, this is my life now. You know, I eat like this, I exercise every day, and then I stop doing that. And then I think I just went into a tailspin because I knew in myself, I'm like,
Yeah.
this isn't right. I need to, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like when your eyes are open to that, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah, this is how it is now. But
Well, and I've always
if you go back, you know that's like you're screwing yourself.
and thinking too, like the fear that I've had that I am gonna mess up or something, I feel like that would just completely fall. Like I'd fall apart. You know what I mean? Like if I miss something
Yeah.
and I just start over, in my mind initially I was like I'd just give up and be like,
Oh, okay.
screw it, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
But now I feel like if I, like once 75 days is up, I don't have any obligation except to myself.
Yeah.
And so it's not going to be there's no failing because
Right.
I'm progressing. That's all like, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think
how to-
that was initially why I wanted to do it, though. And like I was saying, I didn't expect anybody to do it with me. I was surprised, actually, that anybody else was going to do it. Because I knew that this would set an obligation to myself.
Yeah.
Like because I knew that I had screwed up and I was lying to myself about, you know, what I was, like I knew that I should have been doing these things, but I stopped doing them.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I was depressed about it, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna stop doing that. That's not gonna
Yeah.
work anymore for me. I need to go back to this. I need to do what I'm supposed to do. That's all I have to do.
Yeah.
I don't have to think about it or be sad or anything. I just have to do what I have to do every day. I just need to do it and not have any emotion tied to it.
Yeah.
And then Tiffany's like, oh, I'll support you, and
Yeah.
I'll do it too. And then all of you
Well,
guys.
I know
and
when
I'm
she
like, oh,
mentioned
cool.
it initially, I was like, all right, Maddie, let's do this. And I was like,
Both of
half
us.
kidding.
But I was like,
I wasn't
it was working in my
expecting you.
mind.
And initially when you kind of laughed it off, like, and I was like, all right, well, I was kidding. And it seems like she knew I was kidding.
You're like, no, we're not really gonna do it. But then it was like, yeah, it was like a little,
No,
a little bug in
thank
my
you.
brain at
Thank
that
you
point.
for doing this because I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have done it without the feeling I didn't want
Yeah.
to be left out.
Yeah.
And and also I had to tell myself, you know, I can do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, obviously.
So I'm
Yeah.
glad.
So what if you did miss something?
If I did miss something, I would have to start over.
But you don't have like the same anxiety about doing that.
At this point, no. Like at this
Yeah.
point, I'm on my own journey. I would feel sad that I let you guys down. I think that's the only like feeling I'd have but as far as myself goes, I feel like I would be upset at myself a little bit, but I wouldn't be like in the past. Like I feel like when I set myself some goal and I failed, it was a screw it all. Like
Right.
I'm gonna go bingy and
Yeah.
go
It's an
lay in bed
excuse.
for 5. You know what I mean? Yeah. I just
like
go
you
through
jump
this,
off a cliff.
this wave.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
Might
feel
as
like
well.
my mindset's different at this point, and it's just, I feel better. I am better. I'm a better person, and why would I go backwards at this point? You know?
Yeah, that's cool. You probably had no emotional like issues after you thought you screwed up the first
No,
time?
I did. I was like,
You
this
did?
sucks. I was like, that sucks. I can't believe I did that. But then I was like, well, all right, well, what am I going to do here? I can't quit. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, whatever. I'll just do it. And then even I was thinking about the podcast. I was like, I'll just do the podcast alone after you guys all get done. I'll just keep going and keep talking about whatever. But then even yesterday when I realized that I had missed, well, no, yeah, I missed yesterday. I can't remember whatever day this morning I realized I missed yesterday. Because my days are so long, I get confused about what day it is.
Yeah.
So this morning at 3 a.m., I was like, crap, I didn't take a picture yesterday. And I'm just like, man. So I
You're
take
just,
a
like,
picture.
looking in your-
Yeah. I'm like,
looking-
okay, I guess I'm starting over.
Yeah.
And then I got in the car and I'm thinking about it, you know, and then I get to my truck and I get in the truck and I'm thinking about it. And I'm driving to my first stop thinking about it, you know, and I'm like, oh wait, I walked past Declan's camera. And it's like this, yay! I'm
God
not out.
for that kid. He's the best.
I'm like, I got to go see if it was recording. I'm pretty sure it was recording, but who knows? So
Yeah.
I might still be back on day one. I don't know,
Yeah.
but I guess I'll let you guys know next week. But yeah, I mean, it's like like you said, you're gonna continue to do it, right? So like the point is to not quit after the 75 days. Like maybe we'll tweak it a little bit so that it's not quite as hard. But
Yeah.
like I'm gonna keep working out. You know, it's like the health thing. Like we need to try to be healthy as we can be. You know, for as long as we can be. It's like with me, I have these bad habits. And I need to be there, you know, for my family or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I need to be able to keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think about my parents and my grandparents and like my grandma especially. She ballooned up after she had kids and just never did anything about it. And she was always heavy as long as I remember.
Well, that's a wonder.
know,
I wonder too, like about how like the food pyramid and all of that type of
Yeah.
stuff, like sort of screwed people over.
Yeah.
Because they were kind of sold a lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, they were sold that like
Oh, yeah.
cereal is good for you.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
margarine is good for you. Butter's bad for you. Like all these, and like that's what.
And then
Yeah.
those crash diets, like those were
Yeah.
big in like the 70s and 80s. Like,
Yeah. Well, they're
you know.
still happening.
Yeah, that's true.
Those things are. I feel like the big thing you said for like to be around for your kids and whatnot, but also to be an example to them
Yeah.
to set them up
Right.
for a better life, so they don't have to. We're breaking the cycle. That's a big thing, you know. Like I want we have had this conversation, but just. Oh my gosh, I just lost my train of thought.
Yeah,
about
like your
being an
kids will
example to your
become
kids
you.
and-
You know,
Yeah.
so like you need to, you know, they are you, they become you. It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
you need
set them up for those habits.
Success.
Right.
And yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was thinking about that too. Like we don't have, anytime we go anywhere and people have like lots of snacks and stuff, and I hope it doesn't blow up in our face, but like we don't typically have like chips around. We don't have cookies. You know, once in a while I'll make a batch of cookies or like, but we have a lot of fruit and vegetables. And then like the biggest thing is like goldfish, really. That's like all Declan wants to eat. And so like he doesn't really like to eat a lot of the fruits and vegetables very often. I tell him he has to, like for lunch, he has to have
Yeah.
some sort of fruit or vegetable. But Milo, man, he goes crazy over fruits and vegetables. Like he's not wanting for anything because he's always eating some sort of like healthy food. And I actually pride myself in that because I didn't really have that growing up. We had a lot of crap in the house
Yeah.
and we ate a lot of crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Well,
we
and
just don't
we-
have access to that here really.
Yeah.
So
And that's the same too. Like we just don't buy it.
Yeah.
And it's
Right.
not in the house. And if we go to a birthday party, like
yeah.
cake and ice cream, cool, you know, go. But yeah.
They have like treat baskets, so when they ask for a treat, I'm like, yeah, sure, but they're not like constantly asking for treats,
Yeah,
really.
it's like once a day, and it's a
Yeah.
treat. Like you can
Yeah.
have treats, but
So we just started school up again, like more full time. But one of the classes or whatever. One of the subjects my kids are learning is nutrition. So that's what we're starting is just diving into nutrition, like what happens when you put protein in your body and carbs and the balance, and just
Cool.
giving them that education to start thinking and making their own choices as well. Because yes, I can limit what's in the house, but
Well, just like you were saying,
Yeah.
having
They have
that
to make those
knowledge,
choices.
it makes it harder for you to go backwards when you are eating something and you're thinking,
Yeah.
you know, whatever I learned about this,
Uh-huh.
you know, you think twice about
Yeah.
whatever decisions you're making because you now have the knowledge.
yes.
Yeah, that's interesting. That might be a good thing to
The
explore.
hard thing, the one thing I'm coming into while I'm doing some research and planning for them, is there's so much information that's all mixed, and
too
that's
much.
a hard thing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like the whole food pyramid thing you were
Right.
saying, like it's
It was a complete lie, and I still have a hard time. I'm like, no way. Like, I
Yeah.
still struggle with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That idea.
yeah.
Because it was so ingrained in us. Like, it was
Right.
absolute
It was,
truth.
Yep.
Yeah.
But so was everything else. I mean,
Yeah, it's crazy.
there's so many,
so
so
we're
many
just going
things.
like facts, like when you consume this is what happens. When you
Yeah, but how do you-
eat
How do you know they're facts? That's my struggle. It's
Yeah, I
like,
don't. I
from
mean,
this
you
doctor,
don't,
they
but,
said this, and
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
like my dad said he read 2 books right back to back, and one of them said broccoli is really good for you, and then the next book he read said broccoli is really bad for you. It's like, so what do you?
what do you eat?
I don't know.
I ate
I
so
know.
much broccoli.
I don't know.
I mean,
I've been
it
just
seems-
kind of
Hopefully it's
looking into like the actual facts of when you eat food, your body digests this way, and when you don't have enough protein, it does this. And I mean, these are actual facts of the science of your body. But it also, as far as what you're eating, that depends, and what you should be eating depends on many factors of, who you are, lifestyle,
yeah.
metabolism,
Right.
age.
I mean, but we do know like some general things. Like I think cereal is probably not the greatest thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's like processed stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Well-
Like I mean, in Whole Foods is probably going to be generally better.
Yeah, there was
Yeah.
a guy that I saw a video he posted, and he basically was like, if you don't want to count calories, then eat more whole foods, because he just is
Right.
basically going over the calorie count. Like, you buy a burger, a drink, and a fry, you're at 1,200 calories just for that. But if you have a whole pound of hamburger and like a whole, what did he say, like 5 cups of rice or something crazy, like, he's like, you can't eat all that, but that, and then like some fruit on the side and all this stuff. He's like, you can't eat all that.
Yeah.
You're going to fill up way faster on whole foods
Yes.
than you are on a burger and fries. You'll just eat that in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then,
I think that's
so if
our-
you eat more like that constantly, then you'll
Yeah.
be getting the calories you need.
That's our biggest goal too, is just to start eliminating processed foods in general, because that is. And then also, one of the books I was reading, and I can't remember now. I'm not gonna try. But one of the books I was reading was very just try to eat as many different foods in a day that you can. It was more talking about your gut microbiome and all
Oh,
that,
yeah.
and building your metabolism and whatever. But just he's like, I aim to try to have 20 different types of foods every day, little bits of whatever, but and as many colors as I can get, kind of thing. And that's how he views it and looks at it. But that's also directly towards giving your gut a lot of different microbiomes or whatever to improve your gut health, and that's what that was about.
Yeah, this microbiome thing is like a new thing, right? So I'd never heard of it before, but
Yeah, there's a lot of studies happening still
Yeah.
on it, but
interesting.
yeah, apparently it has to do with a lot.
I wonder what the gut microbiome is of somebody that's like out all night drinking and then they eat freaking Beto's at 3 a.m. Like that used to be me, man.
It's indestructible.
Destructible.
Yeah,
That's you, yeah.
indestructible.
Clyde has I've been with Clyde for how many years now? Like 20 years. And I have never seen him throw up, not once. Never once.
Wow.
Because he has like
I don't know that I really threw up that much before I drank either.
Oh, really?
But
Oh. Because he's got a gut.
I just have the iron stomach.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I would like eat, at work we had this deli, these deli employees that just wouldn't temp chicken. So they'd cook chicken fingers and they wouldn't cook them long enough. So basically me and two of my friends would all go get chicken fingers and then eat them. And then they'd come in the next day, they'd be like, man, I was like in the bathroom like
So
all
sick.
night. And I'm like, it didn't affect me at all. Like I ate the same chicken fingers. Apparently, yeah, they would get sick.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that a good rule of thumb too is just whole foods, unprocessed foods.
Yeah, you're going to fill up faster, And
And
if
then
you
it's-
eat a lot of it, you'll feel more satisfied.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's what I like to do. I like to eat, like, we have like those burger salads every weekend when we go on our bike rides.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And it fills me up so much. I
Yep.
don't even want to eat dinner. I'm like, man,
Yeah, they're
so
really
good. So delicious.
I have noticed that as well. Like eating better foods does fill you up, and eating crap foods makes you just feel more hungry. Like
Yep. And it
Yeah.
almost makes you,
Well,
it
I-
like taps into your like addiction,
Yeah.
sort of
Right.
like that feeling
Well,
of like,
it's-
I just need
Yeah.
more of that.
You know,
I
it's
did,
got to be designed.
It
that
is
way.
designed
Oh,
that way.
Like with
Yeah.
soda, it is for sure. That's why they
Yes.
put caffeine in
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Is to addict you to it.
No,
Yeah.
we went to the lake on Sunday, and again, I'm tracking calories so I can eat what I want within my calories, right? So I had potato chips because there were 160 calories, and I planned for it.
Yeah.
But I noticed after I ate it, like I felt crappy, and I, in general, just but also I felt hungry still. Like I
Yeah.
felt like I didn't eat these chips, and I,
Yeah. Yeah, and well,
So
and
I
they
definitely
design them
noticed.
to be like, yeah, like the tastiest like thing that you can ever eat. So they have like the sweet, the salt, the sour, like all of the things
yeah, yeah,
that tap into you, wanting more of that.
yeah.
I don't know, I think that's so interesting. I love the science behind all of that, but
Yeah. And I think it's okay to have these once in a while if you have in the back of your mind like a knowledge of I'm eating this consciously, and I know that that this is not I don't know.
yeah.
I think that you got to give yourself that
You do.
treat every once in a
Yeah,
while.
you do.
And
But you also
Or
have to
else
know
it
that you're going to
becomes
feel that way.
something. Yeah,
You're going to
yeah.
want
Right.
more of
Yeah.
it. I mean, at least for me, yeah, that addictive.
Yeah. Well, and having those boundaries is kind of, where that comes into play. Tracking calories, I can have some, but I can only have a few, and I have
Yep.
to make that decision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause I can't go past this.
Yeah.
Yeah, weren't you were watching somebody who ate an Oreo every day, right? Some health person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But he just ate an Oreo.
Yeah.
He probably
Yeah.
just ate a full healthy. And I think one of the biggest things with this or any program is just your mindfulness.
Yeah.
And like, are you
Exactly.
are you sending the signals to your body to lose? I
Yeah.
think there's more spirituality with ourselves than we know. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and with the world, and we can manifest stuff that we don't know that we can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I agree,
True.
actually.
I think that there is like, and that's almost why like every single diet works, and then it doesn't
Yeah.
work.
right.
Have you guys
Yeah.
ever noticed that? Like
Yes.
they all
Yeah.
work and then they don't.
Yeah.
It's like calorie deficit will work for a while and then it doesn't
Yeah.
Because it's
because
like it catches up to you or something.
because you lose that
lose the
focus
mental.
and
Yeah.
mentalness.
Mm-hmm.
And then even like, you could go talk to like vegans and they'll tell you like why it's so great. And you go talk to herbivores or whatever, or what's the carnivores, and they'll
Yeah.
tell you why it's so great.
Yeah.
But it's all, and then you'll watch them and they can go like, 4 months or whatever, 5 months, and they're going strong, and then they'll fall
Yeah.
off that cliff.
Yeah.
I've been there myself too, and I mean,
Yeah.
and when I was doing keto, I was like all about keto. Like, why aren't we all doing this? Because I feel amazing.
Right.
It gave me this mental energy, and I felt really good on it. But when I did it, when I got off, I obviously gained weight, and it was at
Yeah.
some point. But then when I started again, it wasn't the same the next time. But I've also watched multiple documentaries about keto, about vegan, about carnivore. Like there's so many different documentaries, and all of them have doctors and specialists and
Right.
nutrition,
Right.
and like
Yeah.
people telling you that this is the best because
They're
blah
the
blah
authority,
blah.
right?
And
that's my
they're all the
problem.
same. They're all everyone's going to tell you that this is the best thing for you. And that's why I try to keep going back to like what feels good for each individual is
Yeah.
the best thing for them, like and
And what's realistic, like his dad talks about carnivore all the time and how great it is. And obviously it is, like he seems to feel great. He looks great, he's lost weight.
Yeah.
But I just can't bring myself to let go of all of those things. I feel like I will like freak out or something.
Yeah.
And maybe I wouldn't,
But
I
it's
don't
a-
know, but I love bread. I
Right.
really want to eat
Yeah.
But it's
sourdough
all,
bread.
But it also depends about your lifestyle, though. Because like if
Yeah.
you don't work out, eating sugar is really bad for your insulin levels,
That's true.
and so you become insulin resistant. And that's basically what the
Okay.
point is with the carnivore.
But if you're working out, you're burning off that.
Well, so basically, and I could be wrong here. This is the way I understand it. Regular cells need insulin to process sugar. Okay, muscle cells do not.
Right. Okay.
And so, if you're working out, you could eat more sugar and you won't have an insulin spike because your body will send that sugar to your muscles that you've just ripped and now need to be rebuilt.
Oh.
And so that's why it depends on lifestyle. So that's why some people who work out all the time can eat all the sugar and it doesn't affect them.
that makes sense.
That does
I
make
know people that are working out a lot too have a higher increase of carb consumption as
Yeah,
well,
Right.
which
that's
carbs turn into sugar.
Yeah,
So it
right.
makes perfect sense.
So if you're not going to work out, like the worst thing you could do is eat sugar
Yeah.
or carbs, because basically what it does is it makes your cells, you eat the sugar and then your body's like, all right, we got to send insulin. Well, now your cells need more insulin the more sugar you eat without working out.
Interesting.
So because your muscle tissue will take the sugar or the carbs without insulin, but your other cells won't. So like fat cells won't. They need insulin. And then, so basically you become insulin resistant, which causes a bunch of problems like diabetes. We know they're starting to call Alzheimer's diabetes type 3. Because, and basically there's some research somewhere. I don't know how true all this is or not. It was in a book. I read the book, but I can't remember what it's called.
I
But
remember listening to a podcast that was talking about that. I'm trying to think.
yeah, well, even Jordan Peterson, he went carnivore, and he was having issues with, because he was on benzodiazepine. Is that what it is?
Something like that. Yeah.
And that does, I can't remember the specifics. That does something to you, and it can make you sick somehow. And he said that going carnivore helped. Even his daughter, she has like a lot of issues, and has had a lot of issues, and her going carnivore helped. So
Yeah. What is that called? She has like the. Oh man.
I don't remember, and I haven't got to that
Remember.
part in the book. I think it's in this book that he talks about it, but I don't think I've gotten to that part yet. But anyways, it's like, if we're constantly, that's the thing, is even eating breakfast might be a bad idea, because what they're saying is the reason the incremental fasting works, is that what it's called? Intermittent fasting, is because your body has a chance to reset your insulin levels.
Yeah.
And so you don't get insulin resistant. And so then when you send in some sugar to your cells, and then your body's like, all right, I got to send some insulin out, it works.
Yeah.
Your cells take the sugar and the insulin, and then they use that as energy. So I think what's happening is when you become insulin resistant, your body's like, your cells are like, I don't need this sugar, make fat. And then your insulin comes in, and it's like the insulin is not enough to trigger the cell to use that sugar as energy, and so it says make fat.
Yeah.
And instead, what intermittent fasting does is it reverses that process. So there's another thing that's like insulin. So you have insulin, and then you have the other one. And if your cell sees insulin, then it will take the sugar and make energy. But if your cell sees the other one, I think it will take the fat and make energy. Wait, is that right? I don't know. It's one of those.
We'll have to
I'm
figure out
screwing
what
it
the
up.
book is. We have it upstairs. What is it? I can't
Yeah.
remember. That was the
But-
one I was going to read
yeah.
next because I tried reading it, but I need all the pictures and stuff.
Yeah,
In
I
order to-
listened to it on the book.
Or yeah,
but-
I was listening to it, but I couldn't.
But basically,
it was-
if you have high insulin, you can't have the other one, and the other one is what you need to burn fat. And so, if you're in a high insulin state, then you cannot burn your fat, and that's the problem that we all have. Is we wake up and start eating, then we eat all day, and then we go to bed. We're eating, and then there's not enough time for our body to drop the insulin and bring up the other thing, whatever it is, in order to burn fat.
And that's kind of where I'm starting to try to pay more attention to my macros because of that. I've noted, like I feel like I've been 1,500 calories, that's it, and I haven't been paying attention. I know you're like paying attention to your protein intake. I have been trying to ignore it all, like just calories, because I'm trying to change the way my mind's always gone to low carb, low carb, low carb. I probably need to start doing more low carb, I'm sure, but also increase my protein intake. But find that balance with my, with it.
Well, I think I really wanted to focus mostly because I want to build my muscle.
Yeah.
Because that it really helps to build muscle to have a lot of protein, and it just makes me feel more full for longer and feel more satisfied. And so and there's, like we were saying, there's so many different ideas about what's good and what's not. So I struggle because some people say not to eat breakfast.
Yeah.
And some people, and which works for me. I feel like if I don't eat breakfast, I feel better. I can wait longer to, I'll have like coffee with some protein milk, and that's about it. But some people are saying like you should eat breakfast, and just have a high protein breakfast. But I don't want that. I want like bread.
Well,
I want sweet things.
I think you'd be all right if you ate protein for breakfast,
Yeah,
because
and
it's
that's
just
probably-
about spiking your insulin
Right,
levels.
that's
Like,
probably
if you
the
can keep
key.
your insulin levels, if they can drop for a further amount of time,
Yeah.
then your cells won't be insulin resistant, or they'll be less insulin resistant. So basically, what it was saying too is that we're all pre-diabetic. That's what the book
Yeah, I pretty much,
says.
it gave a list of like, if you have this, 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 and it was like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I have all that. Pretty much everybody I know too, probably.
Right, because
Has it.
our diet is
Mm-hmm.
like, especially with, it's just,
The book that I read called Outlive, it's Peter Attia is the guy that wrote it. But he talks about how important it is to, like, doctors treat symptoms and blood tests, and when they get a blood test and see that things are elevated or whatever, but they don't actually treat it until it becomes past this limit of it being a problem at that point or whatever. So his whole thing, and I think he's the one that talks about the gut microbiome thing too, but his whole thing is like treating the problem before it's a problem. And that's what we lack in the healthcare system, is actually treating the problem, preventing
Yes.
the
Yes.
problem.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
why
Yeah.
do we wait until your insulin levels are
Right.
crazy high?
And then just
Why?
give you a medication.
Yeah, and then we
Yeah.
treat
Yeah.
you with medicine instead of, we're noticing these regular, like, and he suggests taking like regular blood tests, like going to get your blood work done regularly so you can monitor and kind of, pay attention to those factors, but don't wait to do something until they're off the charts.
Yeah.
When you see that they have changed, that there's a change, and how do you want to address that change, kind of thing. So
Yeah. I remember when COVID happened, a lot of people were talking about stuff like that online. They were like, when people realized it was mostly people that were already having pre-existing issues with their, weight, a lot of people that were overweight or old, or right. Those were the people that were affected the most. And then it made people realize like, oh, like, so if we just exercise and eat better, then maybe we'll be okay.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
people just started talking about that, and I was like, yeah, that's exactly what you're saying. If you,
yeah.
I mean, doing this kind of stuff, this is what our bodies are made to do. We're made to exercise.
Well, and we're also made to adapt. So
Yeah.
we can change those numbers. We can change those those outcomes if we, and some of them, if we catch them early enough. I mean, you can even reverse diabetes.
Yeah.
But why even get to that point?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
make
yeah.
that change before it gets
Yeah.
towards that area, that
Yeah.
zone, you know?
Yeah.
Well, and I think the problem with that is like mentality, you know, like when we were in our 20s, we just were invincible. We didn't care, you know, and you
Right.
don't, and if you're overweight, you don't necessarily feel it. You don't
Right.
notice it.
Yeah.
Especially like the really obese people, all of those people are still really young. The ones that are, you know, saying, oh, it's fine to be, because they don't have the effects yet. But
Yeah.
as you get older, you start noticing how your body is affected by these
Yeah.
things. And so, yeah, I think your
Vision.
mentality, you know, you kind of have to learn with wisdom, and,
Yeah.
and we have so much access to so much food and whatever we want all the
Yeah.
time.
That's what scares me with the kids is
Yeah.
is that exact thing. Like, you know, when we did these things
Yeah.
because we felt invincible, you know. I drank a lot. I smoked for many years,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm dealing with these things now, and I'm
Yeah.
you know, I'm going to have to deal with these things. And
But
don't
we
think
were
about
way
that.
more exposed to those kind of things too.
Yeah.
We were way more exposed because we went to school.
Yeah.
Because that was the
Yeah.
crowd.
But the food thing is still an exposure in general, like, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And ever since there started to be commercials added to Netflix and
Mm-hmm.
all these things, you know, initially I was like, oh, my kids don't have to deal with commercials of feeling like, oh, I need to go get, but now they have to deal with commercials.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, that's still, you still see these commercials, and I see how my kids, like, Burger King commercial comes on, and my son's like, oh my gosh, I want Burger King.
Yeah.
You know, we
Yeah.
haven't
How
had that
respond.
forever.
Right.
So it's still there, and it's going to be, and that's what scares me. That's what's,
I mean, there is only still so much we can do, but I think, you know, homeschooling them is a big deal. It's
it
really,
does make a big difference for sure.
it's,
I've noticed that
Yeah.
a lot.
I think it'll at least give them, you know, get them out on the right foot, and then, you know,
Yeah.
then they make their decisions that they
Yeah.
make, I guess.
Yeah.
But
I do feel like they're way more wise than other kids their age,
yes,
for sure.
yeah, that's really what makes them weird. I don't think that they're weird. I think
No,
that
they're
they're
just
weird
wise
because they're
and
yeah,
smart
because
and-
they're very intelligent and
Yes.
very actually like old souls.
Yes.
Not because they had to go through hard things, but because they just
Yeah.
know more.
Yeah.
Or they've just they
When
have
they're
good
given
examples.
That extra attention to be able to
Yep.
know
Yeah.
more. And
Yeah. I think they'll be okay. I think we're
I
doing
want to do
good.
a homeschool moms podcast or a homeschool
should.
podcast
Yeah.
We should. That'd be awesome.
when
I-
we're done with in 29 days.
So it's
I
only
still
like
think it's-
4 weeks, right? Like
yeah, I still
four
think
more
it's
of these.
insane that
So crazy.
that we're down to less than 30 days right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she said she started school officially. When did you start?
This week,
Like,
on Monday.
Real.
Well, Tuesday.
I wasn't
Oh,
gonna do it
yeah.
until like August.
yeah.
Like actual like.
Well, we normally,
doing-
like I said, we normally never, like, we don't ever stop doing school.
Yeah.
But this summer's been so busy that we really have only had like a day or two
Oh.
of school
I see.
all summer long, which is different for us.
Oh,
But
okay.
it's okay. But this week was like full on.
Okay,
full-
let's get back
full
to it.
school.
Yeah.
Officially starting their next grade levels, you know.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I kind of like the idea of just like having a start and stop, I guess, for me.
Yeah.
At
Have
least
that
for now.
reset.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
But-
I get that, and some people do. There's a lot of people that take the whole summer off
Yeah.
or do think, you know, I know there was a couple moms that I had talked to that like will school for 2 months and then take a month off and then
Oh,
2
yeah.
months and then a
Oh,
month off.
that sounds
So
awesome.
everybody does it however it fits for them,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
you know.
Right.
Yeah. Maybe I'll mess around more with that. But I mean, we have been doing some school, but
Yeah.
just not like as much as, you know,
Yeah.
we normally do throughout the year. But
Yeah.
cool. Well, anything else? I don't know. It's been about an hour, I guess.
Yeah, that book, I looked it up. It's called Why We Get Sick.
Oh, yeah.
By
Oh,
Benjamin
I remember
Bickman.
hearing about that. I
Yeah.
should add that. I'm gonna add that to my list.
And I think that he does just go through like a lot of
It's just-
different things that we wouldn't have. It's more than just diabetes. It's,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think that's the big one is Alzheimer's. If that's true,
Holy
that we
cow,
could
right?
change our diet and not get Alzheimer's anymore, because that disease sucks.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, diabetes is bad, but at least with diabetes, it's like, well, you know, you're just
You still have your
dealing with it.
marbles.
Yeah, it's like you just got to deal with it every day. You got to do whatever you have to do. But I
Yeah.
mean,
Wait, what was it called? Sorry.
why we get
Why
sick
we get sick.
by Benjamin
Add it
Bickman.
to my-
Yeah, I think I might read that one again.
I have 17 books that I want to get to.
Wow. Sheesh.
Got to prioritize
Yeah.
and see what's available at the library as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
We should do a homeschool one after this. We should just keep going, I guess.
Yeah.
If we can get some of
Yeah.
the other moms. To
I think we
come.
can. Once I honestly feel like summertime is just
I'm
It's
too busy.
So busy.
vacations
Yeah.
and- yeah.
for a lot of people. And
Well,
yeah.
plus this is like the weirdest thing to do. You know, it's like, hey, come down and
In
get
my
on
basement?
a camera.
Come get in my basement. Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
Well, and there's not a lot of us right now too. If we opened it up to even more of the homeschool moms, we
Yeah.
probably would have like a
There we go.
one or two
There-
be
yeah.
able to come each
Yeah.
time or you
That'd
know.
be interesting too, because we don't always get a lot of time to like discuss like
Yeah,
actual
other
what
than
actually
game
what
day,
we do.
but
yeah.
yeah.
but even then, like we still just kind of talk about
Life.
you know whatever's going on. We don't like say
Yeah.
this is what I use for you know unless
Yeah.
somebody says what do you use for curriculum
Yeah.
or you know what brought you to into doing this in the
Yeah.
first place. Like
Right.
I don't even know a lot of people's stories. Honestly, I forget to
Well,
ask. 'cause
yeah,
we're
that's
just-
what I think we should do. Like this stuff's interesting. Like, how did you get started? Like, we should come up with some questions. I know we should have done that for this
Yeah.
too, but
Maybe have a consistent. How
Right.
many do you get in here?
I don't know. But we could rotate them around too.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, we've had how many people
He
have
was
we had
gonna
in here?
put more people over there too. if
Yeah, we
had to.
could keep going with the green over there. I was going to, but I only had that much paint.
Well,
But
maybe. I mean,
keep
I'd like
going.
to try to be at every one, but
Yeah.
maybe we could rotate out people and just have
Yeah,
a
I
new
mean, well,
a guest.
how many
Yeah.
people do you think we would need to get in here?
Well, I really depends. In my mind, I'm thinking that so and so could come
Yeah.
as a guest, you know, just
Right.
to give their story, and it can
Yeah.
kind of be more, you know, just a new perspective
Well,
each
I-
time.
I like that.
Like that camera is pretty much shooting that whole wall. So we could just have people lined up all across there.
Yeah.
And then we have other ways of getting audio
Yeah.
Okay.
besides these microphones that would work better for basically not one on. We could just we would be putting like a mic up. Like people could share microphones. I
Yeah.
think we could do 15, probably at least 15 microphones
Holy.
with
cow.
that with what I have there.
I don't think that would be an enjoyable.
I know. I feel like everyone would
experience.
be talking.
Yes.
And
Like,
well, so
everyone.
what I would do is if we were going to do a lot of people, I've thought about this, is what we would do is we wouldn't live stream. So we would just record it, and then I would do a multi-track recording, so each audio would be its own thing, and then I would go through and edit. So like if people were talking over people, we would just cut that part out,
Yeah.
you know.
Okay.
Okay.
Kind of like
Yeah.
how we edited that first one, but
Yeah, I think it'd be cool. I think it'd be cool to have like a consistent whatever, and then have a different people. I just don't. Nobody I can think of would be committed. Like I've kind of made this
Yeah.
a weekly commitment, and I don't know of anybody who would or who
Right.
can or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think though, if I'm like, hey, can we pencil you in to come
Oh,
do? You
man.
know, I don't know.
Yeah. I think this would be so good too. It would be so good to have you here.
We can post it to
listening.
the group page.
Yeah. There'd be so many
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
that might be able to do it. But I think even just involving you more, because we've talked about this before, where it's like difficult sometimes with the husbands because they're not always there
well, and
to
I
know what's going on. And so
yeah.
for you to hear other people's perspectives, not just
Right.
from me, but like you
Yeah.
can hear them saying things or, you know, like
Yeah.
their ideas or like even just involving you more in what's going on, I think
Yeah.
would be so amazing.
But
Yeah.
I think we should get the husbands here too.
I
Yeah,
think
that
that'd
would
be
be
Like, I was
cool to
thinking
have
I
about
was just
that.
thinking
get
the
the
same
guys'
thing.
perspective, especially those who've been in it for, you know, like they've had their kids homeschooled for a long time.
Yeah, that would be cool.
And there are some husbands that are very much involved, or do all the schooling themselves. Becky's husband she takes him to the fun stuff, and their dad does the
Does the
actual
rest.
schooling.
Right. Yeah.
But I mean, he's at home and he can do that. But anyway,
Yeah, interesting.
but so there's so many different perspectives and
Yeah, and ways of doing
lifestyles,
it.
and it's all.
Be pretty inspiring stuff. I
It
think.
is. I love hearing people's stuff, and I love sharing mine too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that would be
yeah.
cool. Well, we're not talking about 75 hard
Anyway,
anymore, but
yeah.
you know, it's all part of it though. Like just trying to be better and do better and
Yeah.
progress
Break.
in our lives.
Word I'm looking
I don't know. What did you say?
for. I said break.
The
cycles.
cycles?
Cycles.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Break the cycle.
Break the cycles.
All right. Well, hopefully, it looks a little better. I think I'm going to take that camera and I'm going to move it over here. So you get. I'm trying to clear up Maddie and Marquesa's camera here because it's like I'm like super clear and they're kind of blurry. So I painted the wall behind them. So look for that
Looks
next
great.
time.
Yeah.
But I think if I get that camera out of there, I'm trying to look at too much, so it's kind of like zoomed in. You know what I mean? So if I brought it closer to you guys, then it would be
Oh,
a
yeah,
tighter
maybe.
shot, and it
That's
would probably
probably-
be cleaner.
Yeah.
So, but we'll mess with that, and I guess we'll be back next Thursday. Nothing
Yeah.
going on, or
Sure.
Should work.
sometime next Thursday.
I think so.
All right. Well, if you guys are playing along at home, good luck. Remember to take your picture. Because
You're playing along.
You got this.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.